He'd use all these great terms of endearment. It was so neat. And he just always did it after everything. And so, I pulled Denny aside one day and I just told him, I said, I really appreciate the example that you're setting for me. Because, I got divorced a few years ago and I'm hoping that someday I might be married again. And at that point, I really want to learn from people who have a lot of experience. And I just said, I just really appreciate that. Thank you. And he kind of leans in and he says, Curtis, can I be honest with you? I said, yeah. And he says, I forgot her name about 5 years ago. I'm putting him farther in the doghouse, right? No, having Denny in the Quartet is great. A lot of people don't know this, but in the barbershop world, for those of you who know it, there's the contests that go on every single year. And we go around and we compete at a couple of contests every year. And one of the biggest prize, the Holy Grail, the World Series of Barbershop that you can get is to win a gold medal in a quartet. And, something that we as a quartet are striving for right now. And other people before us have achieved it. And Denny accomplished that in 1983. He won internationals. He sang baritone in the quartet, and the quartet was called Side Street Ramblers, and they were out of Dallas, Texas. Yeah. And the most important thing to note about that is that when he won his gold medal, I was 7. And Matt was 1.
It's not funny.
And then he still looked the same. Well, the other great thing about having Denny in the quartet is he's very talented. And a lot of the music that we've been singing today has been arranged by Mr. Denny Malone. In fact, the next couple songs that we're going to sing were both arranged by Mr. Malone. So this next song, even though he arranged it, we're going to dedicate it to him. Have a good time every day, 'cause you'll never get away from old man time, old man time. He's so mean, meanest man you've ever seen. What I mean, he gives you youth and he steals it away. Takes your nice pretty hair, turns it gray. But that's okay, he makes you rich, makes you poor. He's a dog, that's for sure. All your schemes and your dreams ain't worth a dime, not 1 thing 9. So have a good time every day, 'cause you'll never get away from old man time, old man time, that bugaboo, boo, boo. Every year he changes you what to do. He bends your back, dims your eyes, you see less. You wake and quake when he's through, you're a mess. I confess, he makes you fat, thin or tall. He plays tricks on us all. Every year he changes you, no sense, no rhyme, such a crime. He gives you beauty, charm, and grace, then puts wrinkles in your face. That's old man time. Live your life like you're running out of time. 'Cause baby, you can run, but you can't hide away. escape that cold man. Just ignore that old man time. Old man time. So as Curtis mentioned, we do a lot of Denny's arrangements. This one is really old. I didn't even recognize it the first time we sang it, but we love it. And it's actually our baritone's mantra. He's single and got $100,000 in debt and can't find a date, and so he's basically a loser. So we do this next song kind of, we dedicated the last one to Denny, this one's sort of dedicated to Matt. I'm so blue and lonely too. Everything happens to me. I make a day for golf and you can bet your life it rains. I try to have a party and the guy upstairs complains. I guess I'll go through life just catching colds and missing trains. Oh, everything happens to me, I never miss a thing. I've had the measles and the mumps, and every time I play an ace, my partner always trumps. I guess I'm just a fool who never looks before he jumps. Oh, everything happens to me. At first I thought that you could break this jinx for me, that love would turn the trick to end despair. But now I just can't fool this head that thinks for me. I've mortgaged all my castles in the air. I telegraphed and phoned, sent an airmail special too. Your answer was goodbye, and there was even postage too. I fell in love just once, and then it had to be with you. Oh, everything happens to me, Everything happens to me,
Song with tons of irony to, lift us all up. Real irony, not the kind you write on walls. Real irony, like a Scotsman cloning a sheep. Or naming the national airport after the president who fired all of the air traffic controllers. But actually, being single is kind of cool because it affords me the ability to do other things and get out more. And Curtis, Dan, and well, we're a young trio. We're a young trio, so we kind of do things together sometimes. And a while back, Curtis actually drug us all skydiving. How many people here have ever gone skydiving? How many people have never come back? Denny has bad memories from that. He was a paratrooper in the war between the states. So, but we decided to go skydiving out in eastern Colorado. And for those of you that don't get far from the metro area, eastern Colorado is, well, from my skydiving experience, it looks pretty much the same from 10,000 feet as it does from 0. Pretty much the same. But we got in the plane, and I was actually a little bit nervous. I'd never done it before. He'd done it before. Dan was just, So I was sitting in the plane, just kind of making small talk with somebody next to me, just to try to ease my nerves a little bit. And I realized the guy next to me was blind. And I was like, that's amazing that he could skydive. So I started to talk to him, and I was like, how exactly do you do that? And he was like, it's actually pretty easy. Everything's kind of done for me, so I really don't have to, have sight. So, when it's my turn, they put me up in the door frame, and I stand there, and when I give him the thumbs up, he just gives me a little shove out the door, and out I go. I said, okay, I understand. I see how that works, but how do you know when to pull your ripcord for the parachute? That's kind of hard. Usually I see it. And he said, actually, I have a keen sense of smell, and I can smell the trees and the grass when I'm exactly the right elevation that I need to pull my ripcord for the parachute. I said, all right, I'll buy that. That's pretty cool. But how do you know when to lift your feet for the final arrival on the ground? And he said, oh, that's easy. The dog's leash goes slack.
That joke was too long for the punchline. Well, we've got a beautiful love song that we would like to sing to this lady right here in the front row. So please enjoy this song, and if you don't, then just don't tell us. Just tell us that you enjoy it.
There are songs about Mary and songs about Sue and Alice of Alice Blue Gown. But I love the girl I met at the dance, the girl from my hometown, Ba 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 brand, ba 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 brand. Went to the dance, looking for romance on my brain, so I thought I'd take a chance. Red, ba 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 red. You'll be rocking and rolling, rocking and read about brand, ba 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 brand, ba 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 brand, ba 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 brand, ba 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 brand. You got me rocking and rolling, rocking and read about brand, ba ba boom 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 brand. Oh, Red, you know I love you, girl. I love you.
I love you so much. I just can't get enough. What am I gonna do?
Went to the dance, all my friends, so I thought I'd take a chance. Ba brand, ba 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 brand, you got me rocking and rolling, rocking and reading about brand, ba 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 brand, rocking and rolling, rocking and reading about brand, ba 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 brand, rocking and rolling, rocking and reading about brand, ba 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 ba.
Quartet all have to have an ending that they call the tag. So let's talk amongst yourselves.
The tag. This is the Oh, thank you very much. You know, people ask me now, what do you do for fun now that you're retired? I'm retired, you know, and they say, well, Danny, what do you do for fun now that you're retired? I just give you an example. Anybody here, you know about Boulder, right? Boulder, 35 square miles surrounded by reality. Well, I went up to Boulder a couple of weeks ago. I was up on Pearl Street, you know, or up close to Pearl Street, and I was only in the store for about 5 minutes, and I came out, and there was a cop writing it. So I walked up to the guy and I said, look, buddy, can't you give a retired guy a break? He just looked at me and kept writing. So I called him a Nazi, and he looked at the tires on the car, and the tires were kind of bald, so he wrote a ticket out for the bald tires on the car. So I called him a donut-eating Gestapo. And he noticed that one of the taillights was damaged, so he wrote a ticket for that. Well, this kept up for about 20 minutes. And by the time he was finished and I was finished, there were about 18 tickets on the car. But I didn't care. Wasn't my car, I came in on the bus. Besides, had a Hillary 08 bumper sticker on it. You guys are from Boulder, aren't you?
You know, we sing songs that are about barbershop and stuff like this. If there's a song that epitomizes barbershop, besides Wild Wild Irish Rose, this is classic barbershop right here.
Strolling along, humming a song, nothing can ever go wrong, Oh, gee, but it's great after staying out late, walking my baby back home. Arm in arm over meadow and farm, walking my baby back home, back home. We go along, harmonizing a song, or I'm reciting a poem. Folks go by and they give me the eye, walking my baby back home, back home. We stop for a while, she gives me a smile, snuggles her head to my chest. We started to pet, and that's what I get, her powder all over my vest. After I kind of straighten my tie, she has to borrow my comb. One kiss, then I continue again, walking my baby back home. When my sugar walks down the street, all the little birdies go tweet, tweet, tweet. And in the evening when the sun goes down, it's never dark when she's around. She's so affectionate, and I'll say this, when she kisses me, I sure stay kissed. When my sugar walks down the street, the little birdies go tweet, tweet, tweet. She's afraid of the dark, so I have to park outside of her door tonight. She says if I try to kiss her, she'll cry. I dry her tears all through the night, hand in hand to a barbecue stand. And for dinner we roam, we eat, and then it's a pleasure again, walking my baby sugar babies strolling down the street, looking mighty neat, we're walking and talking, moving and grooving, taking my sugar home tonight.
So being ranked internationally, I guess you can call it, as a barbershop quartet, you're afforded some luxuries, like water. No, no, we have companies come to us oftentimes to sing jingles or write jingles and things of that nature. We've actually sung for Frontier Airlines. I don't know if you guys remember the barbershop penguin guys. Three of you? Okay, good campaign that was. So we did sing for that. And we've also had other companies come to us, and most recently, Kleenex. Have you heard of Kleenex? I never heard. And some sort of facial tissue. And they came to us and said, hey, can you guys come up with like a jingle? We want a kind of a barbershop thing, and we want it to be kind of a love song. And we're like, all right. Yeah, I was just like, okay, just Kleenex. Didn't really make a lot of sense to us. So we were like, sure, we'll give it a you know, the old college try, a really old college try. And sorry about that. And so this is kind of what we came up with. Yeah, hopefully makes sense to you. All right. All right.
Ask me if I love you, and if my love is true. Well, if I were a rich man, here is what I'd do. I'd buy you a diamond ring and a new fur coat or two. If my nose was running money, I'd blow it all on you. If my nose was running money, I'd blow it all on you. I'd buy you a Cadillac, a new Mercedes too. I build you a mansion up on that mountaintop. If my nose was running money, but honey, it's not. My nose is running money, anything you please. Anytime you wanted cash, all I'd have to do is sneeze. Honey, you win the lottery class, folks. You know, I'm trying to look at my notes now. Wait. Wait just a second. Can't see that. You know, somebody with lots to do in the government calculated the cost of raising a child from birth to 18 years of age. I gotta read this because I didn't believe it myself. It says a sticker shock. This doesn't even touch college tuition. $160,000, a little over 160 grand. It says here it's not so bad if you break it down. It translates into about $8,900 a year, $740 bucks a month, $171 a week. That's a mere $24.24 a day, or about $1 an hour to raise your child from birth to 18. So what do you actually get for your 160? Well, now there are some serious benefits to that. Well, number one of the things you get is you get naming rights. First, middle, and last. You get glimpses of God every day. You get more love than your heart can hold. And someone to laugh yourself silly with, no matter what the boss said or how your stocks performed that day. You get a front row seat to history. You get to see the first step. You get to hear the first word. You get to meet the first date. That was a little bit of a troubling thing for me. And you get to get scared silly when they get behind the wheel of the car for the first time. And for 160 grand, you never have to grow up. You get to finger paint. You get to play hide and seek. You get to never stop believing in Santa Claus. You have an excuse to watch cartoons on Saturday morning with the kids. You have a reason to watch all the Disney movies that come out. You get to frame rainbows, hearts, and flowers under refrigerator magnets and collect spray-painted noodle wreaths for Christmas, handprints set in clay for Mother's Day, and cards with backward letters for Father's Day. You get to be a hero just for retrieving a Frisbee off the garage roof, taking the training wheels off their bike, removing a splinter, filling a wading pool, coaxing a wad of gum out of bangs, coaching a baseball team that never wins but always gets treated to ice cream and pizza after the game. You get to be immortal and get to add another branch to your family tree. And in the eyes of a child, you rank right up there next to God. You have all the power to heal a boo-boo, scare the monster from under the bed, patch a broken heart, police a slumber party. Oh, I've done that if you have. Police a slumber party. Ground them forever. And love them without limits. So one day they will, like you, love without counting the cost. And I'll tell you, that's quite a deal for the price. We have a beautiful song. It was written by Billy Joel about his child. That's fine. Good night, my angel, time to close your eyes and save these questions for another day. I think I know what you've been asking me. I think you know what I've been trying to say. I promised I would never leave you, and you should always know wherever you may go, no matter where you are, I never will be far night, my angel, now it's time to dream. And dream how wonderful your life will be. Someday your child may cry, and if you sing this lullaby, then in your heart there will always be a part of me. Someday we'll all be gone, but lullabies go on and on. They never die. That's how you and I
Thank you very much. That's one of our favorite songs. It's a beautiful, beautiful song by the Father's Love Festival. You know, Curtis told you that he's a full-time student at DU. He's getting his degree in international business. He speaks fluent Japanese too, and that's true. He does speak fluent Japanese. You wouldn't know it to look at him. But he doesn't even have a job. And he's going to be graduating here pretty soon in May, is it? In June, going to be graduating in June. He's still looking for a job, but actually he does have a job. It's a night job. It's at the Levi Clothing Factory in Aurora. And it's a temporary job. He's a temp, you know, for the reason most people are temps. You know, he wants to make a difference in the world. And so he runs this big machine at nights that sews the zippers into the Levi's. It's kind of a fly-by-night job. Yeah, you laugh now, but tomorrow morning you're going to tell that one at the office. You know, love is in the air, and I think it's in the air. But we've got a wonderful love song right here.
You can score in a Super Bowl game. You can star on Broadway with lights around your name. You can find an element which no one else has found. But this I gotta tell you, 'cause brother, it's profound. You're nobody till somebody loves you, and only you. You're nobody till somebody cares. Somebody cares. You may be king, you may possess the world and its gold, but gold won't bring you happiness when you're growing old. shine above, shine above. You're nobody till somebody loves you. So find yourself somebody to love. Someone to love, just you. The world still is the same. You'll never change it. As sure as the stars that shine above, shine above. You're nobody till somebody loves you. Wanna find myself somebody. I need to find some honey. I got to find some sweet little baby to love. Someone
More songs about being, reminding me that I'm single. Sorry. How many single people we got out there? Any? None? One guy. One person. One girl. 720-273. No, it's alright. It's not so bad being single because although they have kids and we sing all these kids songs too. I have 3 nieces. My older sister has 3 daughters, and I don't have any family in Colorado, but they live in South Dakota, which is kind of next door. So I go up there and I like to take them places, and we go on vacations together all the time. A couple months ago, took them to Disneyland with my sister, which, I don't know, I'm from the East Coast, and over there we all go to Disney World. Much better, I think. Disneyland is just, it's, yeah. Dan should know, he's been to both parks like, what, 8 times each? Or... yeah. So we took him to Disneyland, and it was okay. It was in August, and it was really hot. In Southern California, it's hot in August. And just after about like 3 hours, we just really hit a wall. And me and my sister were just like, oh. And she really needed a drink. And I don't drink, but I was helping her try to find something. We couldn't find it anywhere. So finally, she just walks up to this vendor lady and was like, excuse me, ma'am, but like, do you know anywhere where I could get like a beer or a glass of wine or something? You would have thought she had like a bomb strapped to her back. I have never seen a reaction like that. This vendor lady was like, ma'am, there's no alcohol in Disney World. And she said, but okay, you see, my ticket says that this is the happiest place on earth. So I think we got a problem, and I would like to get you goofy. So that didn't work out. The year before, we had gone to Canada, which is kind of nice. How many people have ever been to Canada? Any Canadians in the room? Yeah, one guy. You see that? They're so polite. They always wait a second, and I'm like, okay, yeah. We went there, and don't ever make a phone call when you're up there. It's totally a scam. The whole time I was up there, I had my phone out. It didn't say Rome or anything. And I was making calls like normal. And I get home, and I got this $5,000 phone bill. Not literally. I got this very expensive phone bill in the mail. And those people at AT&T, they can not only be really mean, but they're really condescending. Because the lady on the other line was like, well, sir, Canada is like, you know, another country. And I said, not really, because I could see Detroit and their animals look just like ours. No. But it was okay. It was a really good time to be there because their money was worth half ours. And so I was like, yep, 50%, because I hate math. So it was great, half everything. And I went to this really nice shoe store, and I saw these shoes that were 50% off. So I was like, oh, yeah, they're free, right? And you're laughing, you got my math. 50 minus 50 is 0, right? I don't know why American Express didn't see it's a pending investigation now. Gee, what's next?
Something serious.
Yeah, oh gosh. And I got them all pumped up for a funny song. Now, this could be funny. Just think about me while I'm singing it. This is gonna be funny.
Gone is the romance that was so since you've gone away.
So, this is that part of the show we like to call the end. We do have one more song for you. We want to thank everybody for coming out. We've had a great time. Nissi's been a great host. This is our first time here, hopefully not our last. I have to talk to the audience. And Curtis wasn't sure if you were clapping because you wanted it to be over or not. But we do have one more song for you. But we want to thank everybody for coming. We do, of course, have our CD out in the lobby. We were fortunate this last year to cut our first CD, and we've been lucky enough to sell 3. He didn't want one. So we're looking to sell that fourth, but looking around, I know everybody here, you probably already have the CD. So just stop by and say hi. We'll just be out at the table here afterwards. And thanks again. It's really been great. So here's our last song.
I told all my troubles goodbye. Say goodbye to each tear and each sigh. For this world that I rode cannot be my home. I'm bound for a land in the sky. I walk and I talk with my Lord, and I feast every day on His word. Heaven is near and I can stay. So it's goodbye, world, goodbye. Don't you leave when I'm gone, 'cause I won't have to leave alone. That morning when I hear that last trumpet sound, my feet won't stay on the ground. Gonna rise with a shout, gonna fly.
you think we could talk to you gentlemen one more song? I knew they could find one in there somewhere.
Unfortunately, unless you want to hear something really slow and boring, we're just going to repeat something that's really loud that we've already done.
Would you sing it like
This will be a repeat. Maybe you had your ears closed the first time. Maybe you were asleep the first time. I don't know. Well, when I'm down,
When my heart down, I lift up my head, then He lifts up my heart, and my troubles just all roll away. Roll away, roll away, roll away, roll away. When I lift up my head, then He lifts up my heart, and my troubles just all roll away. Now I can see the sun, the tears in my vision and weigh my heart down. But I found a secret when I knelt to pray. Lift up my head, then He lifts up my heart, and my troubles just all roll away. For when I lift up my head, He lifts up my heart, and my troubles just all roll away, roll away, roll away, roll away, roll away, roll away. When I lift up my head, He lifts up my heart, and my troubles just all roll away, my troubles just